we're going to kind of change gears here. Seeing as how this is mostly an atheistic podcast, if you haven't guessed that by all the shows we've been doing in the last year and a half.
Wait, this is an atheistic podcast?
Yeah.
What the hell?
What the hell?
Oh my God.
Wait a minute, you people are atheists? You didn't tell me that.
What have you got me into, Packard?
I'm dragging you to hell with me.
I feel so dirty. I need a bath.
In the name of Bob Dobbs, I send you to heck. No slack for you.
Oh,
Did you sell your soul to Satan for that fedora?
Matter of fact, this is my daughter's.
Nice. I like it.
Thank you. There has been predictions where, since we're talking about the Mayan prophecies that have this prophecy that has failed, obviously, and other prophecies that have failed. Every prophecy, most of these prophecies that have come and gone have all failed in one way or another, big time. Just going back, let's just start with the Bible, for example. Jesus says the Bible said Jesus is going to be a Nazarene. In the Bible, Jesus is born in Bethlehem but grows up in Nazareth. Matthew credits Nazareth bringing up a fulfillment of prophecy in Matthew 2:23, and Mary, Joseph, and Jesus came and dwelt in the city of Nazareth, as it may be fulfilled which was spoken through the prophets, and he should be called a Nazarene. Unlike most of the other prophecies in this category, we can't tell which Old Testament passage, if any, Matthew is twisting to fit the story. No Old Testament prophecy seemed relevant, as it's mostly as he's flat out declaring that the prophecy and hoping that no one calls out his bluff. Of course, even if this is one that's too big for a stone for apologists to swallow, a web page dedicated to this particular problem puts it. It is first necessary to point out that it is a genuine textual problem and only exists if one has exhausted every possibility of interpretation, and there's simply no reasonable explanation that resolves the difficulty.
Yeah, the Thinking Atheist recently updated his video about Christmas, and in it he mentions that there are no historical accounts of the town Bethlehem until like the 4th century. So, like different historians from the time listed like all the towns that were in that region, and Bethlehem is never listed until centuries after the supposed event happened. And so it leaves people wondering, like, all right, well, did Bethlehem actually exist in the supposed lifetime of Jesus, or was it something that was founded later by opportunists as the religion rose up from folklore and started establishing itself and writing down its scripture? They're like, all right, we need to settle a Bethlehem.
Yeah.
Because then we can make some pilgrimage money. And so, like, hey, this is a good spot. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it's question. I don't know a lot about the subject, but it's something I definitely want to read more about.
Yeah, no, you're right on that. It's just that a lot of places they always try. People apologists mainly cite is that, well, these particular cities exist in the Bible. Some of these cities, like you said, didn't exist until much later after the story had supposedly taken place. For one, and claiming that the Bible is true because these places exist, it's like saying Spider-Man is true because New York exists. Come on now. Really. It's Spider-Man came well after New York, too. It's the same kind of thing. Not that they built New York just for Spider-Man, but,
that means Superman is not true because Metropolis doesn't exist.
I'm going to build a Metropolis starting next week.
Don't even start.
But Wonder Woman is true because I am she. Okay?
and I'm dating Batman.
You're dating Batman in Gotham City.
Gotham.
Okay.
Medusa only goes for the billionaires.
Yeah.
Why do you think they have all those pretty statues in New York?
Yeah. You're right. What were you saying, Todd?
Oh, I said smart lady.
Yeah.
For only the billionaires,
Yeah, it just... Yeah, do you have any other thoughts on some of this, on the one I was speaking of, or anything else?
Yeah, about Bethlehem. Same thing about Nazareth. That wasn't found until later. There's a lot of stuff that was found to be traced back to Constantine's mother's trip to Palestine back in the day. And she was basically on a mission to find relics and so forth, and lo and behold, she did, allegedly. However, the veracity of these relics, I think, certainly comes into question. I'm pretty sure that Constantine's mother was not a historian, or was she not someone who was qualified to determine, what was and what was what was extant and what was not on the terms of historical reference. But also, as far as prophecy in general goes, everyone does a little bit of prophecy, even scientists. How do I know this? Well, there's weather forecasts, which is nothing short of a short-term prognostication, or
that's a good point.
You're predicting the future. It's a prophecy, and sometimes it's real easy to do. There's nothing magical involved in many cases. Sometimes it's done after the fact. Sometimes it's just so vague it could be anything. Sometimes an event's going to happen, or you're setting up an event to happen. You prophesize it. Every culture and civilization has done it. However, the ones that seem to be best at it right now, are scientists and meteorologists, due to good observation and knowing very well about cause and effect and how things are going to happen. Proof of this week was the blizzard that came our way. We knew that days in advance it was coming. But even then, there were still some fails. We were supposed to get 10 to 14 inches up here in Sturgeon Bay, and we ended up getting maybe 3 to 6. Just because the lake warmed up the weather just enough for it to melt the snow as it came down. But that's basically all I have to say about that.
Okay.